The tree is a representation and looks like our lungs because it is the air that we breathe. We are one with nature. The grass grounds us. The water cleanses us. The sun heals us, and as well as the moon. Beings, hello. So I've had many comments and questions on what to do in certain situations. You see, life is like nature. You plant a seed, you water it, you sprout, you bloom, you die, you restart. This is an example of karma as well. Many people don't believe in reincarnation, but as humans, when we pass away, our spirit does leave our body, but the physical aspects of us are still buried in the ground or turned into ashes. We have to recycle somehow. So technically, even though our soul leaves our body, our energy never dies. It's almost as if we're in a limbo consistently. The elements of earth are so important. Earth, air, fire, and water. Air being the air that we breathe and the connection, and air moves things, as water as being a cleansing and an emotional cleanser, as well as fire as being passionate and driven, and then earth, where we live, where we inhabit. But the question I'm trying to answer was a question of how do I heal, how do I move on, and how do I start to get in tune with my mind, body, and spirit and become my authentic self. It's not a 1, 2, 3 step. There are layers upon layers upon layers of shedding. The first thing to becoming your authentic spiritual self is balancing mind, body, and spirit. To do this is to learn some of the virtues in life, which is patience, forgiveness, acceptance, love, no judgment, and it all begins with loving yourself first. When you learn to love yourself, you show others how to love you. But also, when you learn patience, you learn to be patient with yourself. When you learn forgiveness, you learn to forgive yourself. When you learn no judging, you learn to not judge yourself. And when you accept yourself, you learn to love yourself. They all correlate, they all go hand in hand. But most question is, how do I love myself? I don't know how to love myself. It's easy, but it's not easy. It comes with taking care of your insecurities. If you're heavy, you do something about it. If you're not making money, you do something about it. It's all about doing something to fix what you feel is weighing you down. But we have to learn to not be in the 3D self and be in the 5D self. Now, when I say 3D, it's 3-dimensional, meaning ego, materialistic, pride, lust, 7 deadly sins. 5-dimensional is living your higher spiritual self, and by doing that is by either getting a reiki attunement to heal your chakras, or focus on your chakras and do yoga and meditation every day to figure out what the universe is trying to tell you. But most of the time when people don't love themselves, it's because of childhood trauma or trauma in the early years. And for some people, they could have a good life and then it'll happen midlife, it'll happen at any given point. But 90% of people, it comes from childhood trauma, whether you were abused in any way, or you went through your parents divorcing, or you got into a horrible accident and got scarred. No matter what it may be, what happens is it puts a slash into our spiritual being, and we kind of almost have to, in the 3D eye, meditate and envision going back to that time and telling that person at that age that you were, is imagine yourself now at this given moment, going back and envisioning you now going back to that time where you felt the least loved and went through that experience, and giving that younger version of you advice. Like, this is going to happen to you, but you're okay, things will happen, you'll grow, you'll learn, you're gonna have a great life. And then once you clear up your past and your karmic, you're able to live in your present and then shape your future. Our past shapes our present and our present shapes our future, but it's always important to be in the now. And most people who have a hard time loving themselves end up in relationships that are not good for them, and they get attached to this idea of love, and they'll pick and choose people according to the behaviors of what they grew up with, and that's not good. But I'm gonna have to do another video for that because it's two totally different topics. They correlate, but they're different. And I just want you to know, in the description in the video, I have cards and certain herbs and oils and stones and things like that that are for sale that you can purchase to use, and you can always comment and question me if you need to know how to use them. Thank you, and be on the lookout for the next video too. It's important. Have a blessed day. Namaste.